Drawing shapes.
Hi, I'm Karen and I created this video for Georgia College and State University. In this video, we'll look at how to draw shapes. We'll look at the XY coordinate system, the graphics objects, and all the methods associated with it.
Components have an associated graphics object that may be used to draw lines and shapes. Java allows you to draw shapes such as rectangles, ovals, and arcs. This means that a frame or a panel can be a canvas for your drawings. In order to draw shapes, you need to understand the XY coordinate system. When you draw a line or shape on a component, you must indicate its position using X and Y coordinates. Each component has an internal object that inherits from the graphics class, part of the java.ot package. Here we see some of the graphics class methods. We have setColor, which accepts a color argument, getColor, drawRectangle, which accepts 4 int arguments, drawOval also accepts 4 int arguments, drawArc, which accepts 6 int arguments, drawPolygon, which accepts 2 integer arrays and then an extra int argument, drawString, which accepts a string and 2 integer arguments, and setFont, which accepts a font argument. Note that for every draw method you see listed above, there is also a fill method, which draws a shaded version of the specified shape. For example, instead of saying drawRect, we could say fillRect. So let's take a look at some of these method parameters. Here we have the drawRect, drawOval, and drawArc methods. They all have the same first 4 integers, and the drawArc just has 2 additional integer parameters. Integers x and y in these 3 methods represent the x and y coordinates where the graphics object should be drawn. Integers w and h represent the width and height of the object respectively. The drawArc method has 2 additional integer parameters. The integer start angle is the angle where the arc will begin. The integer arc angle represents the angle where the arc will end. The drawPolygon method accepts the 2 integer arrays and then an int numPoints. To draw a polygon, you must specify an integer array of all x coordinates and an integer array of all y coordinates. You must also specify the number of total points that the polygon will have, int numPoints. In order to call any of these methods, you must get a reference to a graphics object. You can do this by overriding the paint method in any class that extends JFrame, JApplet, or any aught class. For example, public void paint graphics G. We can then use the graphics object to draw your own graphics on the component. We could say g.setColor, color.blue, for example. So let's look at an example where we draw some various shapes. Here I created a class that draws a pumpkin. I'm going to go ahead and run it just to show you what we're doing. So here's my JFrame, and you can see we drew a orange oval. We drew 2 black filled in triangles using the fill polygon method. We drew an arc and we drew a rectangle, and as you can see we changed the color several times. So now that you see what we're drawing, we're going to examine the code. So we've imported everything that we need to import, and I named mine pumpkin, extended JFrame, and in my constructor all I do is I set the window size and set default close operation, set visible to true. Now we're going to look at our paint method. So now for our paint method, we pass the graphics object G as the parameter. The first thing we do is we call the super.paint method and pass G to it. And then the first thing we're going to do is draw the big circle for the pumpkin. So I'm going to set my color to orange, g.setColor. And then I'm going to call the fill oval method. Note that I didn't call the draw oval, I want it filled in. So the fill oval. And I'm going to give it x and y coordinates and then a width and a height. Once the orange oval is drawn, I want to set my color back to black. I do this by saying g.setColor, color.black. Now the next thing I do is I create the integer arrays for both of my triangles. I have them named left x for the left i's x coordinates, left y for the y coordinates, and then right x and right y. And I have these coordinates set to arbitrary values just to create a triangle. And so you can see that now that I have these 4 integer arrays created, I can pass them into these fill polygon methods. Note again that I use the fill polygon, not draw polygon, because I do want the black triangles to be shaded in. And in order to draw a triangle, it's considered a polygon. So we're going to give it the num points 3, since it's a triangle, and we're going to pass first the integer of x points, left x here, and then the integer array of y points, left y, and the same thing for the right eye. We pass the right x coordinates, right y coordinates, and the number of points, which will be 3. The next thing I want to do while my color is still black is I want to draw the smile. So I'm going to use the draw arc method. So I say g.drawArc, and we're going to give it a x coordinate, a y coordinate, a height, a width, and then the start angle and the ending angle. So we've made these both 180 degrees to give it the dimensions that I want. And then after that, we're going to change our color to green to make the stem. So g.setColor to color.green. And then we're going to call the fillRect method, and we're going to pass it an x coordinate, a y coordinate, which you'll notice is very low because it's going to be at the top of the screen, and give it a width and a height. So the only other thing I have down here is my main method, where I create a new instance of this class. So again, we'll run the program, and there's our example of drawing shapes.
I hope you found this video helpful and that you can now better understand how to draw shapes in your own code. Good luck.